Alright everyone, so I just wanted to show you a really fun, friendly match between myself in purple here, Father Christmas, Nate, yellow, who is Iceberg and is the Malians, and we have Brett, aka Millsy, playing as the Vikings. I am the Japanese, so that will definitely come into play as we watch the course of this game. And let's just kind of give an overview of everyone's starting location. As you can see, I have a few relics pretty close to my base. Got some pretty good resources outside of it, and we're playing Fortress, so it's a pretty fun match between all three of us. So here's yellow right here. Kind of get a feel for everything going on. Then we'll get a feel for a green here. And you can kind of see that green should probably build a mill up here. That would probably cut down on a lot of time between the walk, but I'll keep those comments to myself mostly. As you can see, purple here, myself, I kind of wanted to make a forward base. I don't remember that at all. I want to make a forward base against Brett here, and you can see I'm kind of just in that mode. Otherwise, there's not really any other stepping outside the gates from the other teams. Just a recap on the relics. This one right here. This one right here. We got one up at the top, and then one right there. So yellow really had a disadvantage on the relics. They didn't come into major play, but that stuff can really add up as time goes on. So it's easy to grab them if they're about that far away from your base. So right here, I wanted to really build kind of a base of operations. This is more for green that I was going to attack, but another one, Brett could probably have built a mill right here to speed that up. But I kind of wanted to build a base of operations in between green and yellow to put on some early pressure, just because I thought that would be important. The downside is that wolf, spoiler alert, does kill my guy there. Don't know how he saw him, and that really made me annoyed. So you can see I'm building some bases around the map, trying to get some good vision, and just kind of prepping for the future attacks. Alright. And just some fun facts about the Malians. I didn't really know this. This is one of my first times playing against them. Their town centers actually will shoot arrows at you. So that's a pretty powerful tech. The Japanese have a really powerful tech that I utilize during this game is some towers. They shoot extra arrows once you upgrade that from the castle. And you can see a major aggression from green against myself here. Just really setting the tone as a negative between purple and green. And you can see that yellow has spotted my two barracks here. So as you can see from my fog of war, I had no idea that yellow had built a dock until that came around. So that was kind of alarming to me. I thought maybe I could build a counter dock here. And this is kind of the first big skirmish. Luckily, I was able to attack this here with the galleons, focusing on this uncompleted dock. I was also pretty lucky that there weren't any other ground units, and it was just a dock to stop my couple of long swordsmen here. And then I was fortunate enough to pick these boats off, so it kind of left my two bases defended. Spreading to some town centers throughout the map, trying to get as much resources, trying to boom as much as I can. We have another aggression from green attacking me for no reason, so that's kind of rude. And I'm just trying to poke here at yellow, trying to make him uncomfortable. I didn't think there would be much of an army to come after me, since no one was really attacking my docks, or from my barracks, other than that one dock. And that's kind of the first skirmish, so just kind of poking a little bit here at yellow, and we do see some knights being produced from them in retaliation. Yep, got another town center right here, just acquiring some stone, other resources. You can see a stone out there, trying to get in between that, trying to knock down the walls. You can see this from my perspective. This was not very successful. I was not aware of all of these knights that were going to come and try and kill me. So as you can see, that was not very effective. You can also see that there's a hole right here that I could have just walked through. But you can see from the fog of war, the tower is kind of blocking it. I'll use that as my excuse, but I had no idea that you could have just walked right through. And just trying to build another forward base of operations. Trying to keep yellow and green not complacent. I don't want them to just sit back and turtle, as you will. So I'm just trying to kind of build up. And let's look at green. Let's see what he's doing. Getting some wood. Getting some stone. Get some gold. Maybe use a little bit more of those resources that's been pooling up for green. I do see he has a town center in the corner here. That's pretty good. And we're kind of in a lull right here. Another aggression from yellow against purple for no reason. Not sure why that is happening. And we're probably just trying to defend that relic. I wasn't really trying to get the relic super hard. I was like, oh, I'll get this one since it's so close, and I'll grab this one too since it's like right next to my gear. A lot of idle villages there that could have been utilized, but I'm really focused right here, trying to build some petards that I can bash through this wall because, you know, I can't walk through apparently. But and you can see we have a skirmish going on right here. Nothing major. Looks like yellow is really trying to get those. Also simultaneously, I did have these petards go through here, and we will see that green does stall yellow from getting that relic, which probably helped me a little bit on this side while that was happening at the same time. So a lot of people fighting with yellow. This was not an effective push with those rams. Another one where I definitely needed some spearmen to counter these horses instead of those long swordsmen. So definitely something that I noted during this attack. Alright, so another lull here. We're going to keep cruising along. And another stall from green. He's really being a thorn in yellow's side, preventing him from get those relics. So that was pretty comical to see, especially with how far green has to go to stop him. You think yellow could have done a little bit better job defending those. Okay, and we kind of have another lull. Purple here, building up these bases, trying to steal some of the gold. If yellow would have pushed here, I probably would have been in a little bit of trouble. And we'll give a recap on green. He's building up in this bottom right-hand corner. Maybe could have seen a little bit of more army out of green here. He's got a lot of resources to be looking in this upper corner, so maybe be a little bit more proactive on building. We've got a nice formation. I mean, no one's gonna bust through there. I mean, that relic, it's home. Let's put it that way. Oh, is it home? Okay, he's taking the long way. All right, and let's look at yellow. Still probably going to be building a little bit more units. He does have these relics strategically placed in multiple monasteries. You know, that's very smart. If you break one, you're still collecting the other. I get that. He has finished this wall off. He knows I am going to return. Let's actually look at Iceberg's Fog of War. He doesn't know what's over here. I mean, he definitely knows there's a barracks and workshop just based off those units, but maybe he's not aware of the extent of what I have built up. And we do see yellow stealing some of this forward gold, while simultaneously, I mean, I could be stealing that from him, but that could have been picked up a little bit more. This is the first time yellow does scout this, does see the extent of my forward base, and that should be raising the alarm for him. I still have a lot of tech to update. You can see I do have the middle score with yellow with the lead here. And Milzia just a little bit behind. But it looks like he is focusing on that corner. Alright, I'll fast forward a little bit more. Ooh, some destruction here. Not quite sure what that was. Not sure what that pin was for either. Oh, I believe that was because this green guy was peacefully mining with the purple miners. Very, just a show of trust. And trying to send in some pet shards to see what's going on down there. Looks like Iceberg is actually population blocked, so not a great time to be pop blocked right there. He is building another castle, but you know, try and get proactive with those houses is always very beneficial. All right, let's check back over to green. The space is not being used much. Mining that corner out. Okay. And really focusing on just taking this gold. Maybe yellow could have, see how far out of the fog he was. Oh, he does see that I'm mining this. He could have maybe sent a few guys up there. Probably is unsure with what I have building. So I guess I don't blame him for that. Just trying to raid those woodcutters a little bit. Wow, it's really cutting those guys down quick. That is the elite unit for the Malians. They are a ranged unit, technically. Alright, he is trying to convert this. Wishful thinking. Looks like 2 spearmen do cut him down. But it's probably not focusing on the true battle. As you can see, I do have a pretty big army coming in here. 2 of the main special abilities that the Japanese have here are the siege units, or the trebuchets, will unpack pretty quickly, and the towers shoot extra arrows, like I was saying earlier. So that really comes into play, and you'll kind of see that. I was using some forward towers, just really focusing on defending these trebuchets. I knew that, you know, I could kind of whittle them down from a range if I just kept it up. And just kind of really focusing on those upgrades. Getting these 2 keeps just really helped out everything. So just utilizing another forward tower. Maybe a few more production units would have helped out yellow here. Looks like he only has 1 stable and 1 castle and 1 barracks. So that was probably one of the main reasons that he was struggling in this fight. And you know, in the future. Looks like he does realize that in the real time here, but it looks like this is kind of the beginning of the end for yellow, so something to keep a note for the future for him. And really just kind of gutting through here. Not much that could be stopped. Once all the towers are down, once the forward towers are in, just those kind of just defended the trebuchets on their own. Didn't even need to build more. At this point, just kind of clearing everything out. We have some homes being built. Looks like Iceberg is population blocked. So it's going to be quite the rebuild process. We do see a new base going right here. Let's check up on green. Looks like he's amassing some berserkers, building some more castles. And yeah, I'm just kind of slowly whittling through here. I do see the 2 relics that I was going to take, so I'm going to grab those. And I know that I have to move towards green at this point. We'll move that speed up a little bit. And maybe green could have been a little bit more aggressive. He does, I know, let's check green's Fog of War. So it looks like he doesn't have much explored at the moment. And looks like he does raid this forward base up for me. So, you know, with the pink army kind of at the bottom of the map, not much I could have done for this. And he does kill these villagers for no reason, really, if you think about it. And just kind of check the production for green. Lots of berserks. Unfortunately for him, there are the main Unique unit for the Japanese is the samurai, and their specialty is that they have increased damage against other special units. So, not the best matchup to be against. We do have green looking through the bottom here. And I do know that it's probably time I gotta start moving the production towards green. We have a base down here at the bottom for yellow and a base at the top for yellow. So just trying to reboom, get stuff back. We do have this little skirmish here between the samurai and the Vikings. Very close to taking this town center. Had less than like 200 health, so just almost knocking that down. And at this point, I really realize that I need to start building samurai, because they're going to come into big play against fighting all those berserks. And you can just hear all the berserks being made. And if you look at the army right now, we can see that Milsey has 111 infantry alone. So pretty beefy, to say the least. And just to see the new production at the middle here, this is like, wow, like there's a lot of berserks coming. That's a understatement for sure. Going back to the scores, you can see I'm just slightly ahead of green and yellow. You know, they're just trying to rebuild, get some new units in here. And we'll look back here. We'll actually look back at my base. We haven't looked at this in a while. Not much going on here. As you can see, I don't have many defenses. I don't even have a tower on this side, really. I don't know why it spawned right here, but maybe an offense by either team would have been beneficial for them. And using the same strategy that I used against yellow, I was like, I'll just build some forward towers since they know they're so powerful. And I tried using some of those rams to take the fire of those keeps and some of those berserks. So we have some more coming in. Luckily, we do have those towers being built. Those really helped out a lot. Maybe some siege out of green would have been pretty beneficial here. But they're basically like mini castles. Yep, and as I said, 3 siege coming out of green here. And I'm just trying to push forward with that. Got some skirmishes right here. Alright. And you can just hear the production from green, just pumping them out. Maybe some more of these guys could have been beneficial for them. But a lot of production from both sides. Alright. You know, what better of a counter of trebuchets and more trebuchets, am I right? Got a little trebuchet battle. And just trying to bust my way through this wall. Hoping that will, yeah, and obviously these guys are pretty good against trebuchets. And just the amount of berserks coming, wave after wave, really threw me off. I didn't expect to see that many. I thought maybe if I destroyed some of these houses that would, slow them down. But obviously there's a lot going on. I'm not great at micro. Just kind of the back and forth between green and purple. You know that the Vikings are just going to be pumping them out. Look with all these castles in the corner. And we'll do a quick check back on yellow. This is his top base, not much going on. And the bottom base, rebuilding a castle. So not anything important. We got a wave of yellow knights coming through here. Definitely could have attacked these trebuchets and just been an annoying thorn in the side, but they decided to go on through. And rebuilding that wall for green, trying to rebuild his town center, and just trying to rebuild all of his berserks. This is really kind of a a war of attrition for Millsy. He is completely out of gold at this point. Those berserks are pretty expensive. Maybe could have been selling some of that wood that he has, which is 22,000, which is quite the considerable amount. And then we do have another mini skirmish at the bottom here. Yellow is looking to get back in the game a little bit, deciding to raid this monastery. Maybe for the viewers that might know, if you convert a monastery with relics in it, is that possible? I assume it would be, but I don't know. That's something I just thought of at the spot. And here you can see really the power of these towers. Just killing these monks, which I find very funny. And we'll do a check bound here, rebuilding those berserks. I find yellow to be very annoying, so I come down here and kind of try and finish the job. Another monk killed by those towers, which I find hilarious. So maybe I had time for a green to push forward here. That would have kind of put me in a bad spot. But luckily, that did not happen. And then just a recap. Here's another base. The base still up here. Not much going on. We have some refugees from green up at the top. Probably just scouting, seeing what's going on here. They do attack this peaceful monastery. Not sure what that's about. We'll speed things up. There's a little bit of a lull here. Some units are dispatched to take care of the monastery. Not much they could have done against some swordsmen. Trying to seek some refuge at the top base, but ultimately the knights kill everyone else. And you do see here that yellow does sneak through and get the get those relics. All right, just a quick recap of everyone's situation. This is really the main production of green. Not much in the middle here. Do have another wave of attacks going through. The amount of berserks, I was just very shocked by how many there were, just wave after wave of them. But they are starting to dwindle. And those forward towers are doing their thing. Looks like Millsy did sell a lot of his wood, like I mentioned earlier. And but it's kind of a war of attrition at this point. A lot of back and forth here over this wall. Definitely could have been a little bit more efficient with my armies, I believe. And that's a lot of gold just rolling around with no defense really. But yeah, these towers are so strong. This shows how powerful they are. Helping defend. And here I'm just like, well, I'll kill all these houses. That will probably mess up the production of green if he's pot blocked. So that's kind of my mindset here, why I'm raiding all these houses. And these skirmishes were kind of a good idea. The towers aren't as effective against them, that's for sure. That just shows you the speed of how they can impact. Obviously I'm being fast forward, but that was just a really effective tool that the Japanese have that I really liked. So here, just them trying to clean up these keeps. I'm in the back here just trying to clear out some buildings. And of course, I'm trying to kill these guys too. I was kind of nervous about this hole in the wall. I didn't know what that was about, so I was like, I'll fill it with my own weapon. I was really trying to save these trebuchets just because of how expensive they were. So we're kind of playing a cat and mouse game. Good pincer move by green here, coming from both sides. He does get a few of them, but ultimately some do get away. Wow. Alright, and you can see here, I see these trebuchets undefended, so I kind of go in there. Yellow annoyingly attacking again. Attacking defenseless siege units. And you can just see the Japanese versus the Berserks. Just that unique bonus really comes into play. Just kind of cleaning up and killing all those Berserks. Alright, we'll fast forward here. I know that there's a lot of stuff in the bottom right hand corner. We have 4 castles, we got a monastery, and really it's just a matter of time. Millsy's running pretty low on resources. I'll go to my resource view. I do have a lot left over, so at this point I'm feeling pretty comfortable. I know that I can just mass produce units. Iceberg, he resigned knowing that he was truly out of the fight. This is really all he had left. And this is just really the end. The last units of green going through. And just you can just see the sheer amount of units that I have. We have some petards going in. And just kind of cleaning up shop. One of the annoying parts of Age of Empires, as we all know, is the end. Just trying to hunt down every last villager. I did not know that one was in the corner here. We'll do my fog of war. So I'm like, I think, oh, green must have sent one up to the top here, but really, which he did send one up here. So I was like, oh, there must be more if this one's going up there. But then I was like, oh no, I have to kill all these yellow units, but really the last unit's right here. So the game's basically over at this point. Just kind of clearing out yellow. I think I need to find the last unit. And then I remember, oh yeah, there's a specific thing that I can research, which is called spies. So then I was like, oh yeah, now I know where the last unit is. So you have a little cat and mouse game. I'm sending all the units down here. Kind of just messing around at this point, just kind of relishing the victory. I think, oh, I'll use a lot of petards to get the final kill, because that sounds kind of fun. One villager does get away briefly. He does get slowed down eventually. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just build a bunch of petards. I'll blow all that up, blow up the units, and then the green does make the final stand here. So that was a really fun game. I'm hoping to have some more games in the future. I'll show you guys the achievements really quick. So this overall point score, military stats, largest army at 162 from green, probably like 90% berserks. Kind of amazing how many he built through that game. You can kind of see the units lost. He had a lot of resources. He was really pumping them in. Maybe a little bit more diversity would have helped. And then I killed most of them. Killed 208 buildings, 7 from yellow, 22. Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot of fun. Resources, food collected, stone, and gold. You can see that there. Here is all the technology stats. Got society. I definitely only had 3, so that's probably a little bit higher. Green with the highest villager count of 69. And then here's the timeline. So if you guys like that, hopefully we'll get some more games in the future. And have a good day.